Okay, friends. Already we have seen series resonance, and we have also seen parallel circuits. Now we will see parallel resonance. Parallel resonance. Now, as I said in last lecture, due to time concern, we can't study these concepts or we can't solve several numericals. So, series resonance I have explained you clearly. Parallel resonance I will give you concepts. Okay, then I will show the formulas. So you can mug up the formulas and use while solving the numericals. What is parallel resonance? Serial resonance, you know, when R, L, and C are in series, and when this XL becomes equal to XC, that resonance happens. Okay, means circuit should be purely resistive, right? No, that is the condition. Circuit should be purely resistive, and you know, in purely resistive circuit, your power factor is always one. That is unity. Why? Because purely resistive circuit means voltage and current will be in phase. Okay, there should not be any phase angle. So cos phi, it means cos of phi is how much? 0. Cos of 0 which is 1. Okay, so this is a good power factor, unity. Similarly, in parallel resonance, your power factor should be unity, 1. Okay, so see, there is a circuit having some inductor and capacitor, means say RL circuit is there, and capacitor XC is there in parallel. Now this is coil. Okay, this is XCXLR, right? Now in this circuit, now in like a series, this is not a condition in parallel that R XL equal to XC. Here condition is bit different. Condition is your circuit should have unity power factor. It means applied voltage and supply current should be in phase. Okay, now I will draw a phasor diagram. This is voltage for reference. Okay, now this uh, this is XL, no, inductive current that should be lagging but not by 90 degree, right? No, so say it is lagging by some angle like this is IL, and this is purely capacitive, means it will be leading by 90 degree. This was not purely inductive, no resistance was there. It is purely capacitive, so 90 degree. If I did parallelogram addition, then it will be somewhat like this. Am I right? Okay. So this is angle 5L. This is resultant current. Okay. This is nothing but this IL sin phi. Okay. This is resultant current IR, or I can say from this, sorry, this IL cos phi L. Now when this IL sin phi and this is IC. When this IC and IL sin phi becomes equal, that time resultant current will be here with zero phase angle. Okay, means circuit will be having unity power factor. Then we can see resonance achieved. So condition is your IC should be equal to IL sin phi. Okay, in series condition was XL should be equal to XC. In parallel condition is IC equal to IL sin phi. Okay, remaining things are very similar. As so here also, as we goes on increasing frequency, obviously at one particular instant these two will become equals, and that time resonance will happen. Okay, now there are several formulas for this thing. Fr equal to 1 upon 2 pi, it was under root LC. Here instead it is 1 by LC minus R square by L square. Okay, similarly, there are several formulas, like Q factor is given as 1 upon R under root LC. Okay, uh, there are another formulas also, so you can look into the books. This is a basic funda. Now just you can, if you know the formulas, then it is absolutely simple, because you need to simply put the value in formula and get the answer, nothing new. Okay, so try to see the example from book, right? So I declare that your chapter AC circuit is over here. Now we will start without wasting time new chapter, which is transformer, single phase. This is for phase, single phase, or I can write like this. See, single phase transformer. Transformer. Okay, in our home, single phase supply is there. You know, three phase supply also. Transformer can also be written as a transformer like this. Okay, now what is transformer? Okay, now you might have seen that particular box on a DB near to your home where there is one symbol of danger. Right now, it contains transformer. Okay, so what is transformer? Transformer is a static device. Static means stationary. Static device which transfer electricity from one circuit to other with change in voltage or current without any change in frequency. This is main point. Okay, so it can increase or decrease the voltage and current, but it will never affect your frequency. So try to understand, if in your home there is a 230-volt supply, and if you have particular application which require only 15-volt supply, AC. I'm talking about AC right now. Transformer works on AC only. Okay, why we will see later. Now from 230 how to get 15, then transformer comes in a picture. Okay, it is, this is a structure. Okay, and one winding is wound on one limb and another on another limb. Okay, now if you do 230 here, by varying this turns ratio you can get 15 volt here. Means voltage can be stepped down, or sometimes if you give 15 here you can get 230 here, whatever. For reference I'm talking 15, then that is called as a step up. So either you can step down or you can go step up. Are you getting? So this is transformer. Okay, so now this, there are two types of transformer: core type and shell type. Core type means this type. Shell type means what? Structure is like this, and winding is there on this middle limb. Either there is a primary winding, then there is some insulating paper on it, then again secondary winding like this, or else sometimes it is like that. On half section there is a primary, on half section there is a secondary. Are you getting? Now how this structure forms? Let me show you a real transformer. Just a minute. See here. This is windings of a transformer. This plastic is called as a bobbin. Okay, here there is two sections. Okay, which one is primary, which is secondary, that is another concern. Just leave it. One is primary, another is secondary. Anyone, this is primary, this is secondary. Either this can be wound like this, or else primary first, then some insulating material like this. Here, this is tape. Let me show you. This is a tape, some insulating tape on it, then secondary winding on it. Okay, whether primary inside secondary outside, or for secondary inside primary outside, that is again another concern, we'll leave it. But this is how it can wound. But whether this is transformer, no, this is only winding. Then how transformer looks? Transformer have several these structures. Okay, so like this, one E is there. From this side another E like structure is there. Not necessary E, there are several combinations. Okay, then again from this side there is one E. From this side I can put another E. Again from this side I will put one E. Now what is this material, what it is used, why we are using like this, I will tell you everything, don't worry. Okay, this is how completely it filled till here. Completely it filled. And now if you look into the transformer, it is see like this. Just now I told you, no, see I will draw a diagram here. This is shell type, means this is the structure. right? And on this central there is this one winding, and this is another winding, right? So this is this transformer. Now it is 3D, like this. Okay, but instead using this one thick material, we use several thin laminations. This is having thickness of 0.3 0.2 to 0.3 mm. Okay, so we use several thin laminations like this. Here also like this. Why? Because if I use a thick material, then there are losses called as eddy current loss and hysteresis loss. What is eddy current loss? Before that we will study transformer principle, then we can understand eddy current loss. But this is completely filled, right? This E and here E. But only E? No. First this E type shapes is placed. Then what we do? See here from this. I don't think you can see in the camera. Okay. Then from here, see again I like structure is there. So here I is placed to complete that as a digital 8 number. Okay, because we have placed E from here. I'm sorry. We have placed like this E from here. Okay, but your bobbin is still here. So what we do? We put I here. I. It forms digital structure. Then we put E here from here like this. And in this remaining part we put another I. This is how this structure is formed. Are you getting? So this is the transformer. Now how it works, we'll see. First of all, let me again tell you why we need transformer. Okay, we need transformer because when electricity is generated, it is generated if this is generator. It is generated at something 11,000 volt, that's 11 kV, or 22 kV, or I can say 33 kV. This is how we generate. But while transmitting, we never transmit this much amount due to losses. Okay, what type of losses we'll see later. What we do, we use a transformer here. What the transformer does, the transformer will boost that 11 kV to 220 kV. So huge amount, 220 kV. Then that upgraded voltage is transformed, which is a high voltage. Then means, see, this is Koina, for example. This is Koina, and this is your home. So from Koina 11 kV generated. Then from Koina to nearer to your house till Tali, I can say this high voltage is transferred. Then near to your home, this high voltage is again reduced to, I can say, some 11 kV. Now from 11 kV, if there are different feeders, industries that is given. Okay, and from 11 kV again it comes near to your house, and from 11 kV it is stepped down to 440 volt near to your home, and from 440 volt to your home you take one phase one neutral, that is 230 volt. Okay, now why to do this? Why we can't transfer 11 kV and directly get 230 instead of boosting it to 220, then again reducing? That is again another concern we'll see in electrical engineering, if you are electrical. Okay, right now I will not tell you. Okay, now how transformer works. Transformer has two major parts. One is core, which I have shown you. This is core, a 3D like structure like this. Okay, and another is winding. Two type. Uh, this particular thing is called as a core. Just now we saw. Now we saw actually that example which I show you. This is shell type, and draw whatever I drawn. It is core. Core type. Okay, so this is also can be of different combinations. Means this is like U and I, okay, or C and C. There are several combinations, okay, or L and L, okay. There is never this complete square shape, okay, and never this complete thick material. This is thin laminations. Now this material core is made up of high grade alloy of silicon steel. It is made up of silicon steel, generally called as an iron core also, but it is made up of high grade alloy of silicon steel. Okay, this is copper winding. Now when you apply particular voltage, say 230 volt, what happens? Current passes in this winding. I have already told you, if there is a current carrying conductor, then surrounding it there is always field, flux. So due to this conductor, flux gets set up. Okay, now this flux get this path. This is a, particular flux conducting material, high grade alloy silicon steel. So that flux start rotating through this closed loop like this. Flux start rotating like this. Now when this flux is rotating, here this conductor are there. Okay, so this flux is changing, no, AC current, no. So flux is changing. Okay, like this, high low high low. So this changing flux links with this conductor. We have already seen the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. When coil is subjected to changing magnetic field, EMF is induced in the coil. Similarly, here this coil will subject to this changing magnetic field, so voltage get induced in this coil. Are you getting? So without any electrical connection, automatically voltage get induced in this coil, and when you apply some load here, that voltage get closed path and current start flowing. So this is how voltage or current is passed from one circuit to other without any electrical connection. How much EMF is induced? That is again given by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Always remember, EMF is given by Faraday as E equal to how many turns present in this, that is N1 or N2, into rate of change of that flux, d phi by dt. Okay, so if it is in primary, then minus N1 d phi by dt. If it is in secondary, minus N2 d phi by dt. Right? This is how transformer is or transformer works. Right? Hmm. Huh. This is for core type. If it is shell type, then just let me draw. If this is shell type, flux, now winding is here, no. So what will happen? This is say primary, this is secondary. So flux will come out and it will find two paths. So half flux will flow from here, half flux will flow from here. This is how it is just two paths. So if you compare this core type and shell type, then I can say here your winding encloses the core. Okay, here this core encloses the winding. Here average length of the core is more. Here average length of core is less. Here magnetic flux has only one continuous path. Here magnetic flux has this and this two continuous paths. This is more suitable for high voltage transformer. Okay, this is generally used for small transformer. Just now I show you the transformer, no. So small transformer this is used. Okay, this is easy to repair because you can easily unwind this winding and rewind. This is bit complicated because until you remove the core, you can't remove the winding. You can't get space to work on this winding, which is in between. Are you getting? So this is the difference. Now let's see EMF equation of a transformer. How EMF will get induced. Okay, so if flux flowing is phi is given as a phi m sine omega t. Flux is a quantity of current, no. So I can write as a flux phi equal to phi m sine omega t. Now we saw that when this flux flows, one more thing, when this flux links with the secondary and EMF get induced in the secondary, at the same time this flux links with primary also, and EMF in primary also get induced, that is called as E1, and here induced EMF is called as E2. Are you getting? Now come here. Now that primary EMF is called as a given as a E1 equal to minus N1 d phi by dt, right? Which is nothing but minus N1 d by dt of phi. Phi is phi m sine omega t. Okay, so minus N1 derivative is phi m will come out, and instead sine omega t it will be cos omega t, and for omega t it will be omega. Okay, now I can convert cos into sine, like minus n1 phi m omega sine omega t minus 90. I can write for cos omega t, I can write this. Okay, so now this will have maximum value when this is 1. right? So I can say EMF will be maximum minus n1 phi m omega when this will be 1, right? So this is maximum. So what is RMS value? RMS value E1 equal to minus maximum by root 2 minus n1 phi m omega by root 2, right? But omega is what? Minus n1 phi m. Omega is 2 pi f divided by root 2. So if you solve this, it will be E1 equal to 4.44 4.44 f n1 phi m. Are you getting? This is the E1. Okay. Similarly, E2 can be given as E2 equal to 4.44 f instead n1 n2 phi m volt. Okay. This is EMF equation. Now next point is a transformation ratio. Transformation ratio. Okay. Now equation E1 is 4.44 f n1 phi m. Equation E2 is 4.44 f n2 phi m. So if I divide E2 by E1, then E2 by E1 will be, everything else will be cancelled, only N2 and N1 will be in picture, N2 by N1. This is called the transformation ratio. Now if I consider the system is lossless, means power in primary is exactly same in a power in secondary, then I can say V1 is nothing but E1 and V2 is nothing but E2. In that case I can say E2 by E1 equal to V2 by V1 equal to N2 by N1 equal to K. But again, in transformer, power remains same. Primary and secondary power always remains same. So I can say V1 I1 equal to V2 I2. So from this, if I rearrange, I1 by I2 equal to V2 by V1, right? So, but V2 by V1 is K. So here also I can write K. Or else I can write it here as I1 by I2. So V2 by V1 equal to E2 by E1 equal to N2 by N1 equal to I1 by I2 equal to K. This is reversal equal to K. This is called as a transformation ratio. Right? Now next, one more point, which is actual and ideal transformer. Actual means practical and ideal transformer. Okay, before that, I will tell you what is eddy current loss. Come here. Now, when EMF is induced, okay, in the secondary coil, that time what happens? This is also little conductive material, silicon steel. So EMF get induced in this core also. Now, if core is thick, okay, without laminations, okay, if core is of one particular material, then what will happen? It will have closed path. So due to that closed path, current will start flowing in this core also. Are you getting? And that current is generally lost. It get converted into heat. It is called as a AD current. Okay, so what we do, instead of using thick material, we use several small laminations. So due to laminations, what happens? R is equal to rho L by A. So as area is reduced, resistance is increased huge. So obviously, due to heavy resistance, this eddy current reduces almost to zero. Hence, eddy current loss is reduced. Okay, so this is why we use laminations. Okay, these laminations are separated by mica, and stacked together either by some stacking material or four screw at four corner. Okay, all these things are stacked together. This is eddy current loss, and one more loss is there. Okay, there are two losses: eddy current, and next is a hysteresis. Hysteresis. What is hysteresis loss? Now this is magnetic material, no? So when sine wave is a positive, there are small dipoles, no, like atoms. Small dipoles are there present in a material. All dipoles align with one direction, right? When so current is positive. Now when current is negative, this dipole will again reverse in another reverse direction. So this is how this dipole will continuously move from one direction to another according to your sine wave. Okay, so energy wasted in this alignment is called as hysteresis loss. Okay, so these two are the laws, and the loss, so or these together is called as a core loss because it happens in a core. Together this is called as a core loss, and the core loss in this winding, which is I square r, is called as a copper loss. Okay, so there are two types of loss: copper loss and core loss. Core loss or iron loss also. Copper loss and iron loss. In iron loss or core loss, there are two types of loss, that is a eddy current loss and hysteresis loss. Are you getting? Now actual and ideal transformer. Now in practical transformer, your windings are not ideal, and every winding has some resistance. So hence there is a power loss. Okay, actually ideal transformer, this concept never exists. Just for comparison, it is introduced. Okay, so in actual transformer there is copper and eddy current loss. In your practical transformer, there should not be any loss, no loss. Okay, now when this flux passes like this, when this flux passes this path, some flux lines try to pass its path, complete its path through this air. This is wastage flux, and it is called as a leakage flux. So in actual transformer, there is always leakage flux. In practical transformer, no leakage flux. Actual transformer winding contains some ohmic resistance, obviously. So each winding has its own resistance. This is purely inductive winding. No this ohmic resistance. Now, next concept you may not understand, but we'll see that voltage regulation never 0%. Here voltage regulation is 0%. What voltage regulation we see later. Efficiency is around 93 to 97 in practical. In ideal we can say 100% because no loss. Okay. So it is impossible to construct ideal transformer. It is impossible to construct ideal transformer, and all the transformer present are practical transformer. Are you getting? So you have seen enough. In next lecture we'll see on load and no load transformer. Thank you.